Also imagine, or go back rather, 20 years back. Would you think that the most valuable company or one of the most valuable companies would be a Facebook? Would you believe that something called an Apple would be a $500 stock? A very, very valuable company with a market cap running into hundreds of billions of dollars. All that has happened in a span of maybe 2-3 decades. Please look into the next few decades and you'll see companies which are going green in the true sense will become extremely valuable and respected. Respect in industry is extremely critical, and that's what lends value to a brand.
So in the same line, would like to know that if I have an idea, of course, a bit hypothetical, but if I have an idea and I find it pretty inspiring with a potential, how Estrivari would be able to help me out with that?
We have a panel which will assess your idea. No cost, the first assessment. But once we find it of importance, we'll share with you what you got to do next. And if we are not accepting it, why not? Having done that, we'll make it happen in the real world. That is either into a service or a business or an industry. And like I said, we'll become your live-in partners once we agree. We'll be with you through and through. Even though it may be beyond the framework of a legal agreement, we stand by our partners. And we are now demonstrating that by we are getting into various businesses wherein we are taking as much interest as the inventor or the owners and putting our money, our time, our efforts to make sure they turn into reality. We are with them, we stand on their boards, we sit on their boards rather, they sit on our board of directors, and therefore we work as partners, not merely as advisors which this real world is throwing up by the dozen, who can't be concerned once they've given you their advice. I'd like to share an interesting concept or a project I had worked on. I offered a state in India, or rather an important city, that I would save them about 30% of their electricity consumption on their street lamps. And they allowed us some trials. The trials succeeded. That in itself would have taken off so much load off the grid and so much of saving that they could have developed a small township with that money. That project was accepted. However, due to certain reasons which I better not disclose, we had to shelve it. But the fact that we had their approval gave me more joy than having actually created the money out of that. And that is the business that I'm always looking at. If our governments and our bodies really took saving energy as a serious mandate by the lay public, we would have a far better country, a far greener environment, and people applauding us for the efforts that we are putting in. I'm going to look for a lot more of these sort of things to do in the future, and I hope I succeed. I must add that I'm convinced that Asia and India, which is naturally included in Asia, has dozens and dozens of industrial groups and entrepreneurs sitting on a desire with lots of money to invest in interesting ideas. They just need to be tapped with the correct idea in the correct format. And we have been able to convert those ideas into associations with multi-billion-dollar companies out of India who are truly looking to reach out to the world. As is well known, the BRIC countries and India and China are going to spearhead all the growth. Not only are they going to spearhead growth within Asia, they're going to spearhead growth outside. And that is why we are making Estrivari one of the points you could approach to produce out of India, to help your idea be metamorphosized into something that can ultimately result in business, a service or industry. Like I said, that we are dealing with very large groups and we interact with them on a regular basis. There's that similar thread and the common thread running across all their needs, which is show me the business that we can do and we shall partner or invest with you.
Right.
Therefore, we are making this a platform for all the inventors and entrepreneurs to approach us through this little window where I am.
That was most inspiring and very informative. Thank you, sir.